The Third Man is considered one of the best movies from the film noir genre to have ever graced the silver screen. Martin Scorsese even wrote a major thesis on it in film school, but didn't live up to its reputation. In the aftermath of World War II, a pulp novelist named Holly Martins travels to Vienna to visit his friend Harry Lime. Vienna has been corrupted by a flourishing black market of racketeering and is now quartered into sectors policed by occupying forces, the English, Russians, Americans, and French. Because each sector speaks a different language, the police are having a rather difficult time keeping the racketeering business under control. Holly Martins arrives in Vienna and his friend, Harry Lime, isn't there to meet him. When Martins visits his friend's home to see if he can find information on his whereabouts, he learns that his friend was killed when hit by a truck the morning Martins arrived. Devastated, confused, and shocked, Martins attends Lime's funeral and notices something suspicious about the other people in attendance. The Third Man tells the story of his investigation into his friend's mysterious death. Its cast includes Orson Welles, Joseph Cotten, and Alida Valli. Joseph Cotten met and became good friends with Orson Welles in the mid-30s. They went on to collaborate several times with each other, and eventually, Joseph Cotten actually became Orson Welles' best man at his wedding in 1960. Alida Valli was one of Italy's youngest stars due to her beauty and natural charm. In fact, after seeing the film, Orson Welles commented that his main emotion was remorse after not having made a move on Valli. I watched this movie because, every once in a while I get this itch to just harken back to Hollywood's golden age. A time when almost anything the major Hollywood studios touched turned to gold. Pixar had a run like that from about the mid-90s through the 2000s. Marvel did too, from about 2008 to 2019. At least you could make that case from a purely financial perspective. Whether or not you think their movies are cinematic masterpieces worthy of the Hollywood Golden Age is another argument, but from a purely fiscal perspective, good lord, I sound like a politician. From a fiscal perspective, all Marvel could hear from its fan base for about a good 12 years was, "Shut up and take my money." But in the late 1940s, Hollywood was producing classics that defined cinematic storytelling, and The Third Man is listed as one of them. The first thing that stands out about this movie is its cinematography. Shooting in black and white is, first of all, no easy task, but this film makes Vienna look like a character in and of itself. The way the shadows stretch across the bombed-out streets, the way the light hits the wet cobblestones, it's pure atmosphere. You can feel the ghosts of war lingering as Holly Martins conducts his investigation. And the production design captures post-war Europe perfectly. It's broken, paranoid, yet strangely alive. Then there's the dialogue. It's quick, it's witty, it's sharp. It reminded me a little bit of sort of the tempo that Aaron Sorkin has in his screenplays. Every exchange has rhythm and energy, it just moves. Orson Welles shows up only partway through, but he does make every second count. He reportedly only worked on the film for about a week, but it looks like he had a lot of fun with the character. Harry Lime is charming, he's volatile, he kind of has this magnetism about him. Another thing The Third Man has that it feels like so many modern movies lack is a good touch of romance. There's this sort of playful chemistry between the two leads that keeps us emotionally invested through the story. And not just in the mystery, but in the people themselves. And underneath it all, the film is full of moral complexity. The relationships are just tangled in loyalty and betrayal, and right and wrong. And you can't help but ask yourself what you would do in some of these situations. Now, that being said, The Third Man does have its flaws. There are moments when the pacing lags, the story loses a bit of momentum, consequently the rhythm feels a little disjointed at times, and some scenes last longer than they need to. Even the final chase, while it's beautifully shot, I'll give it that, it just seems a touch long for my taste. It's a stunning sequence, don't get me wrong. Like, everything it does with cinematography, the light, the shadow, like I talked about earlier, is phenomenal. It just is drawn out a bit much. Some of the performances also lacked emotional depth, at least by today's standards. And acting styles, they were different back then. They were more sort of about getting the lines out rather than adding the subtleties and the nuances to them. Joseph Cotten, the actor who plays the main character of Holly Martins, even once said, "I didn't care about movies, really. I was tall, I could talk, it was easy to do." And honestly, you can kind of see that here. Overall, I'd give The Third Man 3 stars out of 5. It's a very atmospheric film with gorgeous shots, quick, witty dialogue, and plenty of memorable moments, but it just doesn't hit every beat for me. But if you've seen The Third Man, I want to know what your thoughts are about it. So leave a comment down below and let me know. If you haven't seen The Third Man, I'd love to know your thoughts in general on what your favorites are in the film noir genre. Thanks for watching this review, and I hope to catch you in another video.